there are 9 teams, according to MLB.com, that have made the biggest position upgrades through acquisition in the offseason. And the first team on the list of the MLB.com list is your Texas Rangers, with Jock Peterson at the designated hitter position, of course. And as Jeff mentioned, the Rangers' designated hitter has been terrible. Last year, it was a minus 2.7 WAR. Minus 2.7 for a DH last year.
Yeah, that just tells you, obviously they don't play in the field, so they were not only could they not hit, they weren't very fast.
They weren't. They
so
couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do really anything. They were last.
Had only 15 home runs last year from the designated position hitter position. The only team that had less was the abysmal Angels, who had 11.
Yeah.
So it was just a black hole in the batting order.
Yeah, I mean the Rangers were by WAR the worst team in the American League in DH. The only team worse than them was the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
So here comes Jock Peterson. He hits the fastball, which was also a Rangers' weakness. He's going to hit right-handed pitching, which was a Rangers' weakness. So, and the Rangers didn't have like a true DH last year because they like to rotate guys through it.
Sure.
I know Wyatt Langford was early on as they got him acclimated to outfield play. But he's now a left fielder. So Jock is definitely going to be an upgrade there. Again, it was just terrible. Every team has a weak spot in their lineup at some point. A lot of times it's catcher, where you're not producing. But first base, the Rangers also weren't incredibly productive at first base last year with Nathaniel Lowe, and that's a position where you have to hit home runs. I mean, that's all there is to it. And Nate knew that. He knew that, and he knew he had to hit for more power, or else he might be somewhere else, and he is somewhere else. So enter Jake Berger, who in his 2 full seasons has averaged 30, 31 home runs a season. He hits the fastball too. Now, I've always been told that the standard for a right-handed hitting first baseman is higher. You've got to hit for more power. Okay, whatever. Home runs are home runs, and I don't care what side of the plate you hit from, as long as you're hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So, looking forward to that. That could be a potential upgrade, and then guys just have to get better. They just have to improve. Adolis Garcia has to improve. Evan Carter needs to be healthy, and if he's not, Leody Taveras needs to be better.
Or Kevin Pillar.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And then Josh Young, stay healthy there. Josh Smith had a great year, but he's never going to beat Josh Young in a home run competition. So lots of ways to get better for the Rangers lineup, but DH, that's a pretty glaring one.
Yeah, interestingly, I'm going to skip around on this list to tell you who is the next team we'll talk about on the list. This is a team that improved remarkably at first base. The Nationals.
Well, I mean, their first baseman last year were garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Including, unfortunately, our buddy Joey Gallo.
Yeah. And now they get Nathaniel Lowe. And look, again, we all love Nathaniel Lowe, like I think most of you did. So good for him. I hope he is, gets the success that he wants and has there. And it's got to feel pretty good to him to know that, he's considered a bit of a savior.
Yeah.
With the National. Now, again, that's not a very good team right now.
Yeah, but he's also going to be a clubhouse guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be a guy that the media goes to a lot after games as this team tries to get back. They won it hasn't been that long since the Nationals won the World Series.
No, it really hasn't.
2019. And they have some good young players. You remember last year at the end of the year, C.J. Abram apparently the night before went out to a bar and then just went to the ballpark, and they weren't having that. They sent him down, so some guys still learning how to be professionals and stuff like that. Well, Nathaniel Lowe won a World Series. Nathaniel Lowe not that long ago was in a position of a lot of these guys. When his first season was the Rangers was 21 when they were just atrocious.
Yep.
But he was thought of as a piece who could be part of the future, be part of a World Series team, and lo and behold, he sure was. But it's a talented team and potentially talented team with young talent. Dylan Cruz, who was the second overall pick in 23, behind Skeens, ahead of Max Clark, who was ahead of Wyatt Langford. A pretty top-heavy draft there. So there's talent. It has to learn how to play, and Nathaniel Lowe is going to help with that.
No doubt about it. Nathaniel Lowe, of course, mature, even more mature now. He got married in the offseason, but again, his upbringing, he's raised by a dad who is a fighter pilot, right? His dad was basically Top Gun. So he was raised Nathaniel Lowe, and we know his mom Wendy too, and is still battling cancer. But anyway, he was raised right, so he will fly right, if you'll pardon the pun on that deal. So another one on the list. First on that whole list is starting pitching, the Dodgers. And MLB concluded even if the Dodgers had not signed Sasaki and Snell, they still would have been first on the list just for the guys they're getting back into the rotation.
True. And that Tyler Glasgow can be nasty.
Yeah.
Big velocity. Clayton Kershaw probably still has something whenever he's ready. And then you're not even talking about Dustin May, and
Tony Gosselin, Shohei.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Shohei. How can you forget him? He's probably at the top of the list, but won't be back until May at some point. But Dustin May, who went to Northwest High School, and Justin just north of Fort Worth, and right next to the Motor Speedway up there, off of 114, and went through that weird deal last year with his throat or his esophagus, and life was kind of at risk. And he's that's got to change your perspective on a lot of things.
100%.
Like how grateful he would be to be there. And I think he mentioned that after his outing the other day. The big orange afro. I don't know if he still has it or not, but anyway, a fun story to watch there. But where does he fit? It's
right.
Like, gosh, is he going to be? Where's he going to be? So anyway, a lot of great arms that the Dodgers have assembled.
Yeah, the Rangers think they have a lot of candidates, and they do, to be starting pitchers. But man, and what it speaks to as well is just how amazing it is that all those guys were hurt last year during the World Series, and the Dodgers actually had to go with during the playoffs, had to go with a couple of different bullpen days in playoff games and in a World Series game.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that kind of speaks to the game these days, and I couldn't imagine Sparky Anderson ever doing that.
No, God, no.
Send out old Willie Hernandez for for a start or something back there, the Tigers in the 80s. I don't know, but that's just the way it is, and it was well managed. But that's why you have to have depth, and
that's it. Yeah.
And that's why I think Chris Young has built the roster the way he has, with a bunch of guys who are, able to step right in. If somebody gets hurt, boom, Dustin May's at AAA.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, holy crap, we got a really good young pitcher coming up to replace Sasaki. Something like that.
Whoever. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be a doom and gloom, but Sasaki's going to get hurt this year, I think.
Oh yeah,
and he won't be pitching a full slate of starts, in my opinion. But anyway. Depth, important. Dodgers, good for them.
Yeah, and we're still rooting against Sasaki. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, then I like this one too. We're not going to get to all of them, but you can find the list. But I like this one. The at second base, the team that has improved dramatically at second base.
I don't know.
Boston Red Sox.
Well,
and there again, the MLB is assuming, and I'm not sure this is a safe assumption. MLB is assuming that Alex Bregman is going to play second base. And I still think, I thought Joey Cora bristled at Devers' comments, and I don't know that his teammates have been too happy about it. And I will say that Bregman has taken the high road. But like you mentioned yesterday, Rafael Devers is a butcher, and Alex Bregman is very smooth over there at third base. I think you're going to have him at third base.
He's a Gold Glove winner.
Yeah,
Bregman is,
and a former shortstop.
Right.
Yeah,
Devers. yeah, that move's got to be made. And whether it's moving him to first but Tristan Casas isn't a bad first baseman for the Red Sox. So I don't know. Joey Cora will figure it out, or Alex will.
That's
maybe he'll call Joey.
Well, he'll call his brother.
Yeah.
All those Coras. So anyway, the improvement is such a huge part of this thing. And as we, began to chronicle a little bit with the Rangers, it wasn't just at the designated hitter position that the Rangers did improve over the offseason. That was just the one that MLB identified as an area of so much improvement that it was first on their list.
We all silly like the mayor.